Hello and welcome. Today is November 21st, 2024, and this is the We on Fire team training. And we're going to go through just a couple of things today, maybe answer some questions, do some celebration, and take a look at the HSA account. And also, we're just about to review a prompt. So this is going to be a short training today, and celebrating all of you that are here on watching the replay and here in person. I was just going to show my screen and share a prompt that I just gave to ChatGPT. If you have ChatGPT, if you don't have ChatGPT and you don't know what it is, it's chatgpt.com. And you can pretty much type any prompt in the message chat down here. And you can see, I mean, I have had months and months, probably over a year of using ChatGPT to help refine emails or help me create workflows or posts for Facebook and Instagram or some kind of campaign. So today, now if you don't have this, you can borrow one of mine and I'll put them here in the chat. But I said, based on everything you know about me, give me a dozen statements of what I help people with or what I help people do in this format. I help people ABC without having to XYZ or something similar. So I really love this because like, look at number one here. I help people transition to organic regenerative foods without having to give up their favorite meals or flavors. I help people detox naturally and effectively without having to rely on synthetic binders or harsh supplements. I help people explore holistic health practices without having to feel overwhelmed by complicated routines, and so on and so forth. So maybe try using this prompt. I'm going to put the prompt in the chat of this, and I'll also put some of these results in case you don't have this. You can borrow. And even if you don't phrase it as I help people, and you want it to be more, read like a post of, have you ever thought about, you know, moving to organic and regeneratively farmed foods without being confused or having to give up your favorite meals? So you can reword it so it doesn't say I help people. And also when you're working with ChatGPT, you can ask it to rephrase it into stating it a little differently. So I'm going to have to remove some of these because it's only giving me 1,000 at a time, characters at a time. Then the second thing that I asked it was, okay, keep going, give me another couple of dozen, and let's talk about pineal decalcification and things like that. So there's a couple of really good more good ones in here that I can put in the chat. So based on what we're talking about, I'm wondering if anybody has any questions for me in the group right now. And if not, yeah, Sally.
What where do you get that chat GPT if we don't have it? Like, is it an app or how do we get it?
Could be an app. I just type into my computer at the top chatgpt.com.
Oh, so like in the search engine?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So let me change this. Okay, so now change this from I help to phrase it more like a question to others and create curiosity. And let's see what ChatGPT does. And I will put the prompt again in the chat. So if you're able to see the replay and you're taking a look at the transcript. And I can also put the, maybe Louis, you can put ChatGPT in the comments.
Okay.
So these are great. Have you ever wondered how to transition to organic regenerative foods without giving up your favorite meals? So this is great. And we were just on a leadership call recently, and Rebecca, one of our leaders that also hosts our Thursday calls, really touched in on this subject and its importance of, not just telling people what we can do for them, but really asking people the question and giving them the comparative of, what if it was better? Give me 1 second. What if we could connect with them from this place of relatability and also solutions? So let me put a few more in here. So this gave me another 25 examples, and I will read a few of these to you as well. So these are great posts. Let's take a look. Have you ever wondered how, okay, so we said that one. What if you could detox naturally and effectively without relying on synthetic binders or harsh supplements? How would your life change if you can embrace holistic health practices without feeling overwhelmed by complicated routines? What if optimizing your gut health felt simple and manageable, even with conflicting health trends? How would your health transform if you could experience homeostasis without sacrificing time and values? So, isn't that great? Even if we were to just use one of these a day and post them on our Facebook page, it would start a conversation. Now, one thing that I will say is when a conversation starts, you really want to like, or if somebody gives an answer, say great one, but don't launch into the conversation publicly. Message them, hey, thanks for commenting on my post. I know it can be vulnerable to answer some of these questions. Tell me a little bit more about your answer, or why you answered the way you did, or what challenges you've been coming up against. So I really wanted to highlight this for you today and help you find ways to speak to your audience. One thing that we can do, and I will type this in, and Sally, let me know if you have a question, is like, okay, now phrase it to around the conflicts people experience about wanting to get healthy around the holidays. And that's going to start a whole new conversation, right? So yeah, Sally.
And so like what when you're using this chat GBT or whatnot, like are you using it mostly when you're like posting on your social media pages, when you're getting ready to like talk to somebody? Like when are you using that the most, are you finding?
Oh my gosh, I use it for a lot of things. I was looking for non-toxic spas and how people are searching for them, so that when I created content, I could understand maybe how what keywords people are using for non-toxic spas, because spas are something that I would like to help get this nutrition into, especially, so I asked a prompt based on that. I wanted to articulate something to a friend of mine who had asked a question about dietary impact on development. And so here's a prompt here. Write me a post based on scholarly articles and developmental delays and dietary damage from pesticides, grains, decanting agents, food dyes, and factory farm meat, and the validity, citing scholarly articles, of plant-based organic food, the reverse to reverse developmental delays, omit any recommendations for grains during rehabilitation, and emphasize and cite any studies directly correlating even the slightest bit of glyphosate, food dyes, BHT can have on exacerbating the delays. Also cite how the CDC has had to recently change the benchmark and ages to reflect a slower development due to the poisons our children are currently ingesting in this day and age, and how it's not necessary and can be reversed with scrutiny and diligence. Like, that's a huge, very well articulated prompt, but it basically wrote me an article that I could post. And then when it was done, I said, rate this article for general comprehension. And I asked it if it would add anything. And sometimes I can say, please modify it so that the average American who reads at a 6th grade reading level can comprehend it easily. And it will refine it again and refine it again. So today I took a beauty challenge that is on our team board that Rita made. And I asked it to completely redo it for a health and fitness, and change all of the beauty to reflect fitness and wealth. And it wrote me let's see, it wrote me and I said, make it so that I can write these on Canva slides. So, and then I had it help me name it, give me 10 names for this challenge that we would name it. And it gave me all of these wonderful slides to write. I've done everything from property management agreements to water quality risks and tips, and to creating a workflow or email, conversation, gut health journey story, all kinds of questions, aspergillus in food, top 1% food mission. I mean, it just, your prompts can be endless. This one, for example, is, you're a brand and marketing expert for health and wellness. Give me a list of your top 10 taglines that would look good on a card for brand marketing. The card reads, Yoga Mat Men's Attunement Transformation. That's the name of my husband's company. Using these definitions, attunement to connect more closely to spiritual source and transformation. And I just looked up definitions and said, write me some taglines based on that for this person, and you're a marketing expert. So elevate your inner warrior, a journey of mindful metamorphosis. It just came up with all of these things. So you can use it for anything. I've definitely just, sorry, this is the longest answer ever, but I've also just put in, hey, take a look at this email I've created and check it for redundancy and edit grammatical errors. And it won't change it at all. And then sometimes I'll say, great, thank you. Now, is there anything that you would change for clarity? Sometimes I'll find an article or a post that I absolutely love, and I'll put it in and I'll say, can you rewrite this for me so that there's no copyright infringement on this person's property, copy. And
So
it'll
you just
rewrite.
copy and paste it in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and then
like
yeah. So
whatever,
let me,
whatever you're wanting to use or whatever, you just put it in there. Like, it's just really that easy.
yeah. So it says, what can I help with? And I can say, you're a professional X, Y, and Z, or you review attorney documents, or you're an expert in social media, you're an expert social media influencer, create a grid for me that, it's just, they're prompts. You just put in a prompt, and the more specific you can be in your prompt, the more chat will help. And then if it's not quite right, you can ask it to refine it, or if there's anything it would suggest, and then you just copy it and paste it wherever you're taking it. And if you need to make a few adjustments, make a few adjustments. I definitely ask ChatGPT not to, sometimes I'm like, oh, that sounds really salesy, remove this part, or take out anything about this, or, make it more fun and relatable, or, add some emojis. I mean, you can literally do anything. Like, I asked it to draw a picture of me last week with the prompt that says, based on what you know about me, illustrate a picture based on what you think my life looks like. And it gave me this picture. Now I asked it to modify to look more like me. But this was a good one. Rewrite this to avoid copyright infringement for a Facebook post. And then I took something about biosequestration, also known as biological carbon sequestration, a natural process that removes carbon from the atmosphere and stores it in organic matter like plants and soil. So I just took this exactly from maybe Wikipedia or something else, and then I asked it to make me a post about it to create curiosity.
Okay, awesome. I'm definitely going to look into that.
Yep. So going back to these prompts and going back to Rebecca's point of, how do we get a conversation going with people? Now, if we're new to the business, or even if we're seasoned veterans to the business, we're creating a lot of posts and going live and being in our stories and putting ourselves out there so that when we do a stagnant post or a static post, it's going to get engagement. And so I like to do a combination of live videos and, stories, and then throwing out a question for people. And sometimes I like to do true or false, about things like cholesterol and greens and digestion and things like that. So here's a good one. There's a couple of them here. Have you considered how living in tune with natural rhythms might transform your life without disrupting your ambitions? What if discovering the synergy between health and wealth didn't mean prioritizing one over the other? Could you reduce inflammation and chronic stress without relying on treatments that only mask the symptoms? How might connecting your spiritual and physical health enhance your life without choosing one over the other? So just super fun things. Sometimes I'll put these on a PDF and I'll switch the first half of the sentence with the second half of the sentence, and I'll just get rid of some of the things that aren't speaking to me and create my own from these prompts. So it's a really exciting thing. And then, on Purium Business on Facebook, Amy and Dave typically live stream their calls. So yesterday's training call was all about the health savings account and the it's H or A. And you can find that live stream to watch the replay at the Purium Business page on Facebook, and then just tag friends, tag business partners on that, so that there's a clear understanding, and we can support others in getting connected, because that financial savings account, FSA, or I don't know what, I can't remember the anagram, definitely is going to be going away at the end of December. So we want to support people in getting that taken care of. So for example, and this just goes back to not getting into a whole conversation on the Facebook page, but my recent post was, who has health savings account at HSA or flexible spending account FSA? That's it. And I had people respond, I currently do, but it's not going to I won't have it after the new year. And so instead of getting into this whole thing, well, my superfood company is offering I just say something like, are you losing it? Are you getting rid of it? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? And as they answer me, then I can go into the inbox and say, hey, thanks for your comment on my post. I really appreciate it. I'm super excited because um, the company that I work with is now offering this, and I'm wondering if there could be something that would benefit you so that you could use so you don't lose this money at the end of the year. Something like that. But I do that part inbox after we've started a little bit of a conversation. So any questions about that?
No.
Okay, and I'm gonna just share my post on the screen so that people can see my post and what we did with it here. So who has health savings account or a flexible spending account? And, people are responding. Are you losing it? Are you getting rid of it? What did you like about it? Why don't you have it anymore? I have an Health Flex spending account and I love it. It helps with things like paying for eyeglasses and dental work that aren't covered under insurance. I usually use it all up by September with 3 people in our family needing glasses. That's usually over 1,000. And we have needed some dental work like crowns and root canals, which are expensive. So it's just interesting because it's starting a conversation and we get to see where people's needs land. Now there's a direct correlation between, there's a direct correlation. I'm going to go ahead and mute you, Sujanya. Welcome. There's a direct correlation between oral health and gut health. Our digestive tract starts in the mouth. And so this person is a friend of mine. So I might go inbox and have a conversation with her about, wow, glasses, I get the glasses thing, has everybody always had glasses since they were little? Does everybody have the same, diagnoses when it comes to the eyes? And then, is everybody in the family going through some kind of oral surgery? And, maybe opening up the conversation of like, have they told you that there's nothing that you can do about it? Have you looked into alternative holistic dentists? If there was an organic, natural solution or something that you could do to support this, would you want to know what it is? And then be inbox with them in those conversations. So that is pretty much all I have for that. With the FSA and HSA account, the other thing that you can ask ChatGPT or you can do a simple Google search, which I have done today, is looking at current best health savings account providers. So I am looking at a list, Bank of America, different big companies that offer these accounts, and planning on reaching out to the people that, do either work with their employees, or that work with their insurance companies and these programs, and offering some type of information session so that they can understand what is available, and maybe even considering doing group transformations and making those available to their employees. So there's so much potential. We get to do these tables at different events. And, the bigger you think, the bigger net you're going to cast. I absolutely love the idea of going into nursing homes, because a lot of people will have these types of accounts or will have a budget that they can spend on certain things outside of, their regular commissary. I don't know if that's the right word. I think that's the word you use for prisons, although that might be debatable um, for homes. But but also, looking at places like chiropractic conferences, biohacking conferences, you know, connecting the dots with neurosurgeons, maybe healthy happy hours at local hospitals or clinics, so things like that. So, does anybody have any questions on any of the training that I've brought forward so far?
No.
Okay, thanks, Sally. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we can spend the last 10 minutes. I'll, just working on reach outs or maybe making a list of people that we want to reach out to, or even some of these things that I have put in the chat for potential posts. And we'll take this silent. You're welcome to come off of mute and ask any questions you have or put them in the chat. And we'll spend the next 10 minutes getting ready for Transformation Thursday. That is happening in 9 minutes. I will be leading that today. So maybe even spend this time reaching out to people and seeing if they would like to join us for Transformation Thursday, or if they would, in fact, like the replay. Okay, and let me know if you have any questions about that. And Louis, you can go ahead and stop the recording.
And the link for the transformation is the same link for this one, right? With the same password?
Yes, yep, we'll be right in this room right here.